Hello and welcome. My name is Joe Clark. I'm a spiritual healer based in Oceanside, California. You can learn more about me and my services at my website, josephclark-spiritualflourishing.com. Now, the method I'm going to teach you today is called belly breathing. You can find this and other helpful mindfulness methods in my book, Soul, Supportive Guidance for Healing and Awakening. Soul's available for purchase at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and authorhouse.com. Now, before we launch into the method, let's review 4 touchstones of successful practice. These are 4 good principles to keep in mind to help you get the most out of your mindfulness practice. The first key to success in your mindfulness practice is commitment, resolving to practice, choosing to actually do it. And by showing up today, you've done exactly that. The second key to success in your mindfulness practice is consistency, practicing regularly. I invite you to see your mindfulness practice much like a fitness routine. If you think about activities like jogging, swimming, yoga, lifting weights, you benefit far more from these activities the more consistently you do them. And a mindfulness practice is much the same way. The third key to success in your mindfulness practice is flow. This has to do with the difficulty level of your practice. I invite you today, don't make your practice too hard, and don't make it too easy either. Try to find a sustainable groove. If you notice your practice is getting too hard, if you're straining and struggling to do it, if it's bringing you stress and anxiety, see that as an invitation to ease up. Continue to ease up until you find a more sustainable groove. Likewise, if your practice is getting too easy, if you notice you're giving it only a fraction of your attention, you feel like you're only going through the motions, focus. And continue to focus until you find that productive groove. And the fourth principle I invite you to keep in mind today is friendship. Be good to yourself. We engage in these mindfulness practices as a gift to ourselves and to others. Let that truth be reflected in the manner in which you practice. I invite you today to practice in the spirit of friendship by being good to yourself at every step along the way. And one way to summarize what I just said there with the touchstones is this quote from the mindfulness teacher Chula Dasa. In his book, The Mind Illuminated, he wrote that when it comes to a mindfulness practice, success comes through repetition with a relaxed attitude rather than from effortful striving. So if at any point in your practice you find yourself asking, what should my mindset be? How much effort should I be putting in? This is a great line to come back to. Repetition with a relaxed attitude. Last preliminary matter for today is posture. I invite you to cultivate a healthy and comfortable posture, and invite you to do that right now. And to cultivate that healthy and comfortable posture, here are 4 good posture goals to keep in mind. First, let your posture be aligned. I invite you now to notice your pelvis, notice your spine, notice your neck, and notice your head. And let these 4 areas, your head, your neck, your spine, and your pelvis, come into an alignment that feels healthy and comfortable for you. A second good posture goal to keep in mind is balance. Let your posture be balanced. Here's one way to bring some balance into your posture. You can gently rock yourself forward, then backwards, to the right, to the left, and let your posture settle into a natural balance point between those extremes. Third good posture goal to practice today is openness. Let your posture be open. I invite you to check in with yourself right now and see if your posture feels closed or shut in any way. And if it does, see that as an invitation to gently let your posture open, like a blossom opening to the light. And a fourth good posture goal to keep in mind today is softness. I invite you right now to let your posture be soft. Let your body relax. Let any tension that you're holding on to just melt away. And let your body settle into a soft and steady state. And this soft and steady state is a great way to be with our posture, to let our energy flow freely through our bodies. So the method I'm going to teach you today is belly breathing. Belly breathing is a great method for cultivating focus, releasing stress, and feeling more at peace. I invite you to see your breathing as a portable oasis. You always carry it around with you, and it's always available to tap into to help you refresh your energy. And I want you to see belly breathing as the method for tapping deeply into that portable oasis so you could begin feeling better and more at peace now. What I've done here is I've taken a screenshot from the University of Michigan Health's website. And what this infographic is showing you is the many benefits of belly breathing. Let's go ahead and review them right now. Belly breathing lowers the heart rate and blood pressure. It decreases muscle tension. It increases blood oxygenation. It brings warmth to the hands and the feet. It increases energy and motivation. It improves concentration. It strengthens the immune system. It reduces stress hormones. It activates the body's relaxation response and reverses the stress response. And it can be easily implemented, requiring no medication and no cost. So let's unlock some of those benefits for you today by practicing belly breathing together right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you belly breathing in 5 steps. And the reason I'm going to do it this way is normally we tend to breathe from higher in our body. We tend to power the breath through the chest, up through the upper chest, the throat, or even through the face. We're using the muscles of this upper half of the body to power our inhaling and exhaling. In belly breathing, we're moving the power center down into our belly. And this can take some practice because it could be unfamiliar to do. So by breaking this down over 5 steps, I'm going to make it really simple and easy. And then we're going to put those steps together at the end so that you can practice belly breathing in one fluid motion. So step 1 of mastering the belly breathing technique is practicing extending and releasing the belly. So I'm going to show you how to do it first and we'll practice it together. So look at that photograph there on the right. This is exactly what I want you to do with your hands, is go and gently place them over your belly so that your fingertips are joining just above the navel. And now what I want you to begin practicing is gently extending your belly out into your palms. Right, practice gently pushing your belly right through the belly button out into the palms and then releasing. Extending and releasing. I want you to continue to practice extending that belly out into the palms. What I want you to do over time is to establish a smooth and steady rhythm, extending and releasing the belly. Don't worry about breathing right now. We're going to add the breathing part later. Right now, all we're doing is focusing on extending and releasing the belly. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds now on your own. Go ahead and practice this now, rhythmically extending and releasing the belly. Good job. Rhythmic belly extensions. Good, time for just a few more. Beautiful. So that's step 1 of belly breathing, is rhythmically extending and releasing the belly. Now, step 2 of belly breathing is going to be locating and feeling the diaphragm. So I invite you, before we jump into this step, just reconnect with that healthy and comfortable posture. Once your posture feels healthy and comfortable for you, what I invite you to do is take those hands, and before we had them over the belly, let's move them up a few inches. I want you to place your palms over the bottom of your rib cage. What I invite you to do is your pinkies, have them run along the bottommost rib, and then have your hands settle just above that. And once your palms are placed above the bottom of your rib cage, what I invite you to do is begin to breathe slowly and deeply. Begin taking slow, deep breaths. Good. Just focus on the breathing for now. Breathe slow and deeply. Good. And once you have a nice rhythm going with slow and deep breaths, what I invite you to do is to direct your attention inward. And as you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, I want you to feel that diaphragm muscle, again, which is just beneath where your palms are placed. I want you to feel that diaphragm muscle moving down as you inhale and up as you exhale. See if you can connect with that feeling right now. Breathe slowly and deeply. Feel that diaphragm muscle moving down on the inhale and up on the exhale. Beautiful. And now this last piece we want to add here is what I want you to do now is I want you to power the inhale by intentionally extending the diaphragm downward. So with your hands placed gently on the bottom of your rib cage, I want you to begin breathing, and I want you to do it by feeling into that diaphragm muscle and picture yourself, feel yourself extending it downward toward the belly. And this downward motion of the diaphragm is going to be what powers the inhale. Let's spend about 30 seconds practicing this now. Good job. Breathe slowly and deeply, powering with the diaphragm. Feel that diaphragm going down on the inhale and up on the exhale. Good, about 10 more seconds here. Beautiful. So I want to acknowledge that this in particular, connecting with the diaphragm, can be especially difficult to do, especially if the practice is new to us. So if that was hard, if when I was given the instruction to try to feel the diaphragm, you weren't really able to do it, don't worry about that. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you naturally engage the diaphragm. So if you're not able to power the inhale by intentionally extending the diaphragm downward, simply read that as breathe slowly and deeply. And by breathing slowly and deeply, you're naturally going to extend that diaphragm down. All right. The third step we're going to add here is practicing inhaling through the nose. So go and reconnect with that healthy and comfortable posture. Let the spotlight of your attention move upward. Before we were on the belly, then we were on the lower chest. Now we're going to bring it up to the nose. And what I want you to do now is I want you to practice inhaling through the nose and exhaling either through the nose or the mouth. What I want you to do is to establish a smooth and steady rhythm of nose inhales and then exhales out through the nose or the mouth. If you can't breathe in through your nose, that's okay. Just breathe in through your mouth. Let's take about 30 seconds now. And I want you to do is establish that smooth and steady rhythm of inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Go ahead and practice that now. Inhaling through the nose. Smooth and steady rhythm. Good. Time for one more full round. Beautifully done. So before we dive into step 4, let's just pause for a moment. Just feel back into that healthy and comfortable posture. I want you just to notice, check in with yourself. Notice the state of your thoughts, notice the state of your feelings, and see if you're noticing any improvements just based on that work we've done so far. And if so, give yourself some congratulations for bringing that into your life and begin to make that connection between this practice and these benefits. Okay, now in this step, what we're going to do is we're going to combine steps 1, 2, and 3 into a single fluid motion. I'm going to summarize that for you. We're going to practice it together, and then I'm going to give some space, about a minute, for you to practice it on your own before we move to step 5. So to summarize, what we're going to do is we're going to extend the belly out. We're going to extend the diaphragm down. We're going to draw that air in through the nose. We're going to release with a natural exhale. And then we're going to repeat that cycle. All right, let's practice a few together, and then I'll give you a minute to practice on your own. So what I invite you to do now is extend that belly out. Extend that diaphragm down with a slow, deep breath. Inhale through the nose and release. Good. Another one together. Extend the belly out. Diaphragm down with a slow, deep inhale. And draw that air in through the nose. And release. Good. One more together, and I'll let you operate on your own. Extend the belly out. Extend the diaphragm down. Slow, deep inhale. Drawing air through the nose. And release. Good. You've got it now. We'll go for a minute. Go and begin. Get a nice, smooth, steady rhythm going with your belly breathing. Belly, diaphragm, nose. Smooth and steady rhythm. Good. 30 seconds down, 30 to go. Extending and releasing. Good. Time for one more full round. Beautifully done. So at this point now, you've mastered the belly breathing technique. The last piece I'm going to teach you is a way to gauge your technique to make sure you're doing it the right way. What you're going to do is you're going to use your hands as the gauges. I'm going to show you how to do it. We'll practice it together, and I'll give you some time to practice it on your own. So how to do it. You place one hand over your sternum, one hand over your belly, just like the person in the picture. What you're going to do is you're going to practice your belly breathing technique, extending the belly out, extending the diaphragm down, inhaling through the nose, and releasing and repeating. And as you do, you're going to be using your hands as gauges. And if you're doing the practice right, what you're going to feel is you're going to feel more movement in that bottom hand that's over the belly and less movement under the hand with the chest hand, less movement at the chest. And so what I want you to do is when you're doing that practice, feel that hand motion. And if what you're noticing is that the opposite is true, you're feeling more movement up at the chest and less movement down at the belly, not a problem at all. What this is an invitation to do is to go back to step 1 and get more comfortable with those belly extensions, because it's those belly extensions that are going to cause that movement at the bottom hand. And so what we'll do now that I've gone over it with you, let's go and practice it together. Go and take those palms, put one hand over your sternum, One hand over your belly. Let's go and practice the belly breathing now by extending your belly out, extending your diaphragm down, inhaling through the nose. Release. And repeat. Get a nice, smooth, and steady rhythm going. Good. And as you get that smooth and steady rhythm going with your breathing, notice the movement beneath your hands. Notice how much the belly hand is moving. Notice how much the chest hand is moving. If you're feeling more movement under the belly hand than the chest hand, good. Keep going. That's what you want to feel. If you're feeling more movement at the chest hand than the belly hand, no problem. Emphasize those belly extensions. Continue to focus on those belly extensions until you can feel more movement at the belly hand than the chest hand. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds right now to practice this on your own. Do belly breathing using your hands as gauges. Good. 10 seconds left. And pause there. So again, if that's feeling right to you, if when you're using those hand gauges, you are feeling more movement at the belly than the chest, perfect. And again, if you're not, it's not a problem at all. See that as an invitation to go back to step one, really get nice and comfortable with those belly extensions. And then once you have that going, that's where you'll feel that change. You'll feel more movement at the bottom hand. Feel free to pause the video now if you want to go back and practice that before proceeding. So now that we've practiced the 5 distinct steps that make up the belly breathing motion, we're going to combine them into one fluid movement. I'm going to summarize it for you again. We're going to practice it together, and then I'm going to give you 4 minutes to practice it on your own. So to summarize, how do we do belly breathing? We extend the belly out. We extend the diaphragm down by breathing slowly and deeply. We make sure that inhale is coming through the nose if possible. We then release and repeat, trying to establish a smooth and steady rhythm. And all the while, we're using our hands as gauges to make sure we're feeling more movement at the belly than at the chest. That's the summary. Let's begin practicing it together now. Go and put one hand over your chest, one hand over your belly. Extend that belly out. Extend that diaphragm down with a slow and deep inhale. Draw that air in through the nose. When the breath feels full, release. And then repeat that cycle. And as you do, feel your hands. Let's go and do it one more time together now. Extend the belly out. Extend the diaphragm down. Inhaling through the nose. And releasing. Good. One more time together. Then I'll set a 4-minute timer. Extending the belly out. Extending the diaphragm down. Inhaling through the nose. Releasing. And noticing the movement beneath the hands. All right, you've practiced, you know it, you're ready. Let's go ahead and set a 4-minute timer. And I want you to practice belly breathing on your own. Belly, diaphragm, nose. For more movement at the belly than the chest. Smooth and steady rhythm. Good. 1 minute down, 3 to go. Belly out, diaphragm down, in through the nose. Smooth and steady rhythm. Use your hands as gauges. Good. 2 minutes down, 2 to go. Practice belly breathing. Belly, diaphragm, nose. Slow, deep inhales. Exhale, releases. Good. 1 minute to go. Beautiful. 30 seconds left. Belly, diaphragm, nose. Smooth and steady rhythm. Time for one more full round. Nice job. So invite you just now to pause and check in with yourself. Notice how you're thinking, notice how you're feeling. If you're noticing any benefits, any improvements, let your mind make that connection between this practice of belly breathing and those results you're feeling right now. That'll help to positively reinforce the practice, give you encouragement to do it again in the future. All right, nice work. You've done yourself a great service. Invite yourself to pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a squeeze if that feels right. By engaging in this practice, you've cultivated more peace, more presence, and more focus. That's going to be a benefit to you and to everyone you encounter today. I wish you good luck and good fortune, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.